Hi everyone, it's me, Andy, and we're here, back again. Your favorite multimillionaire, and now I'm a poor kid. Um, God, I'm so awkward. So, hi. I'm not explaining where I've been, what's going on. I mean, I'm probably gonna end up doing that, but if you're new here, hi, I'm Andy. I use he and pronouns, and this is like a video diary for myself and anybody who needs it. My therapist suggested that I do this, and not really, actually. That was a lie. I decided I was going to do this. Uh, Not my therapist. Yeah. So, anyways, okay. Um, yeah, I've moved. Blah blah blah. Rat's not here right now. They're with a boyfriend. But what what I'm talking about today is the Tobi drama. And if you don't know who Tobi is, that's okay. Neither do I. Um, they're a YouTuber or a streamer. They did some kind of like pretty crappy stuff. Clearly, I am here to totally shame her. No, I'm not. Um, what I'm actually here to talk about is the BPD aspect. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. If I wasn't filming this on my computer and I was hip with the kids, you'd see like some editing thing. But I'm not hip with the kids, and I am definitely recording this on my laptop. So, anyways, so what we're talking about is the Tobi drama. So Tobi is a YouTuber, and I think she's in the art community or drama community, like the commentary community. I could be wrong, but she recently came under fire, and by recently I mean like all of 2020 and 2021, for starting some shit. Rightly so. People were pretty mad. Um, I'd be mad too. Like I was originally totally on like everybody else's side. I was like, yeah, no, she sucks. And I mean, listen, like I'm not on anybody's side. The side I'm on actually is borderline personality side. That's what I want to talk about. Um, so Tobi says that she has borderline personality disorder. Um, I believe her. There's no reason not to. I have borderline personality disorder, and I know it's an extremely hard disorder. So there's that. um, which is true. Like it's a horrible disorder to have, and it's a very rare disorder. It's like it's not common at all. Um, it could be similar to not dialectical. Uh, Dissociative identity disorder. It's along those lines of you don't see it often, and it's caused by trauma at a young age. So what happened was I've been watching the drama and just whatever to play Animal Crossing 2, like, you know, just like some background noise. And I found myself clipping off of like a few videos by creators I normally really like because of the way they talked about borderline personality disorder. What was the last straw for me to talk to you guys is that I was watching The Name's Junkie or something, which is just, I mean, that's a weird name, but only like I mean, it's cool, like go for it, but I always think about like a junkie, like if you know what a junkie is, like, but that's just like the way I grew up, like bad situation, Oshawa kids, you know. Anyways, so I was watching his video, who I only saw him in like another person's video or something, and I was like, okay, like that's fine, like, and I decided like, oh, he made a long video. Like I literally only watch videos if they're long, because that's something for me to like have playing in the background, to like draw or play Animal Crossing, or I own a business, so doing my work, which I mean, pretty good business, if I do say so myself. So okay, anyways, don't need to talk about that. And him and his editor were talking about how they were going to do this video and who they were going to make this video with. They ended up changing it all up, and I never finished the video because I got upset. And they talk about Tobi's BPD, and that's okay. Like, you can talk about it. Everybody's going to talk about it. Definitely if this is like part of the drama. And she's saying that this is what caused it. But I ended up wanting to leave a comment. And this is what I wrote. And I didn't end up leaving it. I ended up coming to you first. You as in my camera. To make myself feel better. So what I had said was, hi. I'm reading it off my phone. I said, hi. I know you didn't mean any harm towards the BPD community. However, I feel that the way you handled the topic was highly inappropriate. Let me stand up straight for my scoliosis. I did not say that in the text. God, Andrew. I have the disorder, and I know that it's hard for someone who doesn't have it to understand. You are correct that most things Tobi has done wouldn't have directly been caused by her BPD. So let's stop there. A lot of what was being said was that she said her BPD is the reason why she did this. And, I mean, I'm sure she did say something like that. I'm sure that's how it came out. And no, her BPD probably was not the reason why she said what she said about, CP and posted art of an aged up character and then not safe for work, aspect. And I think that's fine. The character is no longer a child. The character is an adult in the art. Then fine. It's an adult. They drew a picture of an adult. It's fine. It's not like she drew Sailor Moon as a child. That's not an issue. That's the issue is not, to me, that she drew not safe for work content of a character aged up. It would have been an issue if she had illustrated the character as a child. That's not the issue here. The issue here is that people try to attack her, and I mean, she kind of that happens to people, because she called out somebody, I believe, for child CP art, which, she was right to do. If you see something like that, call it out. That's not okay. But what people aren't understanding is that for people with BPD, definitions are really important to us. So when she's saying, it's not cool to post illustrated art of an underage child in a compromised position, she's right. It's not okay to do that. What she's talking about when she says it's not okay, and then people go, well, you did it. She didn't do that. She drew an adult. The character may have been a teenager, but she aged the character up. Sure, she didn't state it, which, I mean, in hindsight, she should have. She said later that it was, and totally in hindsight, she should have said in, the beginning, this is aged up Sailor Moon. She didn't, and that's an honest mistake that people make. She was just assuming that people would know, because the whole time drawing it in her head, she was thinking, this is adult Sailor Moon. That's just that. And when I said that, it was highly inappropriate the way they handled it, and that her BPD didn't directly cause, we're talking about a direct from here to here. With all the other drama, when she was, when she was reacting to the stream, and people were very angry at her, and she was very angry, swearing and cursing. What you saw was an angry kid throwing a fit. What you saw was, someone being immature, or why would somebody have such a big reactions if they weren't lying or scared of getting caught? What I saw was somebody with BPD. What I saw was a little girl who has been through hell and back trying to live with BPD and having what her emotions thought was an appropriate reaction. Of course, like, that was inappropriate to swear and say these people can F that and F that and whatever she said. But in those moments, she felt like that was the appropriate thing to do. That was how she felt, was what she was supposed to do. And when we say her reactions weren't directly caused, like, the issues weren't directly caused by her BPD, we mean like from here to here, a direct link. Because of her BPD, she called out someone for doing something similar that she did. That's not what happened. Because of her BPD, what she meant was, because of my BPD, I felt that what he did was wrong on such an extreme level that I had to say something. I thought my art wasn't wrong because it was an aged up character. The character was an adult in my art. This man has drawn and posted child pornography. That is wrong. So, of course, it wasn't directly linked, but her thought process came from that. Her thought process came from her BPD. So what's important to understand about BPD, which is called borderline personality disorder, it is a personality disorder that, sorry, I just needed to drink some water. So what's important to understand about I did drink water, by the way, about borderline personality disorder, which is a personality disorder, is that it's usually developed before you're an adult, similar to DID, dissociative identity disorder, which is developed before the age of 13. What causes that disorder, not DID, BPD, is the unstable climate or situations, or living situations, unstable relationships, unhealthy relationships, an absent parent, not having a stable place of living, extreme abuse, abuse in childhood, any form of it, unstable friend group, maybe there was somebody bullying, or even just like fighting between your parents. BPD is caused by trauma. It is caused by an unstable situation, unstability as a child. So when you're a child, your emotions are not developed. They're underdeveloped, right? You don't know how to handle. Think back. You probably cried because you spilled milk, or because you lost your favorite littlest pet shop. And yeah, I know I'm touching my nose a lot. We had chili for dinner. And yeah, anyways, nobody cares. So now if you lose your favorite littlest pet shop or you spilt milk, you're like, damn, that sucks. Clean it up or buy a new one. But you learned how to have that reaction. As you grew up, you learned how to have that emotional reaction. Us, we never had that chance. We didn't get to learn how to have an emotional reaction appropriately because our emotions were always in a heightened state. We were always scared. We were always stressed. We were always, in very heightened emotional situations. So you would feel your emotions from 5, 10, 10, 20 or something. Us, we feel our emotions from 90 to 100, sometimes 95 to 100, sometimes 99 to 100. So our emotions are always 100% of the time extremely stronger than yours, whether that's a happy emotion or a sad emotion, whether it be attraction to someone, or if it's a broken heart. We feel our emotions so much stronger. It's like the end of the world, or it's like the most amazing thing. The world just was born, So yeah, when she thought that this man was doing something wrong, and she kind of did the same thing, but not really. I don't think she did the same thing. Her emotions were the way she felt. So, that out of the way. Let's go on to what I said next, which is probably not important. I'll probably just go on a tangent. But I said, what I said was, but it would have affected her BPD. It would have affected the way she thought about things or viewed the situation. Again, like I said, she would have felt like it was extreme. Like everything was going on was 10 times worse than it might have been to you. And it's not that those feelings were invalid, because our feelings are always 100% valid. They might be inappropriate, but your feelings are always valid. Okay? I don't want anybody to ever forget that. Definitely people with BPD. Your feelings might be inappropriate. You have to understand that it's not appropriate to cry because you spilt milk all over the ground. But your feelings of overwhelming sadness or frustration or disappointment is valid. Your feelings are valid. There's a difference between inappropriate and valid. And you need to understand that they can be both. So that's what I meant when saying like her emotions were probably like affected by her BPD. Of course, like her BPD didn't tell her to do this. Her BPD didn't tell her to do that, like schizophrenia might. Her BPD had her react in a heightened emotional way and without thinking. With BPD, in a lot of these videos, they weren't acknowledging that BPD has extreme impulsivity. So let me let me get the book behind me. Hi, this is called "I Hate You, Don't Leave Me," which is a book about understanding people with borderline personality disorder. So around here says the 9-ish things, like the 9 criteria you have to meet for having BPD. It's a shaky sense of identity, a sudden outburst of anger, oversensitivity to real or imagined rejection, brief, turbulent love affairs, intense feelings of emptiness, eating disorders, drug abuse, and other self-destructive tendencies, an irrational fear of abandonment, and the ability to be alone. On top of that, this book is actually a really good book. It's by Gerald K. Kreisman, MD, and Hal Stewart, maybe? I'll link it. On top of that is impulsivity. Just like hyperactivity deficit, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, impulsivity is a big thing because we don't have control over our emotions. Impulse is an emotion. So she might have felt extreme impulsion to call somebody out, or to say something, or to attack. Okay, like, yeah, she has BPD. That's kind of expected. Definitely if she hasn't been able to get treatment. And I'll talk about that in a minute. With BPD, yeah, your emotions are so bad, and her impulsivity probably wasn't meant to happen. She didn't think, oh, and I have this big plan of how I'm going to take down everybody's life, like everybody's thinking she was doing with these people. This all happened in a second. Her lies, she said to protect herself, and not like in a way that, oh, boo-hoo, like, I don't want to grow up or own up to my decisions. She was so scared of losing what she felt was stability. She was so scared of losing people she cared about, so scared of losing her fans, her pay. She was so scared of hurting others that she might have actually hurt someone, that she had to tell those lies to protect herself and in hopes to protect you and to get you to stay. When you have BPD, like it says, extreme affair but abandonment. That's not just, oh, boo-hoo, my boyfriend might leave me. It's, my followers are unfollowing. They're leaving me. I said something. What did I do? And she has to now try to make sure she doesn't let herself slip, while also trying to deal with the fact that, yeah, she messed up. And she's losing followers and she's losing support because of it. That, again, is the end of the world to this girl. Again, not okay what she did. Never will be, never was, not okay. However, you have to understand that her borderline personality disorder would affect her and have her say things that just weren't true. And unlike an impulsive liar who just lies because they feel this unnatural urge to tell a lie, somebody with BPD, their lying is something that they feel they have to do to protect themselves and to protect you. They will say anything to keep that loss or harm from going. Again, so when I said her emotions were extremely strong, when she reacted the way she did, her reactions weren't of somebody who were extremely guilty and, somebody who's done something so terribly wrong. You can't, her emotions were somebody with BPD. And what you have to understand is, society says that somebody who has these reactions or does this and that, they're probably lying to you. They're probably purposely trying to hurt you. But what you have to understand with BPD is that we're not everybody else. We don't have regular emotions. We aren't neurotypical. We normally don't just have borderline personality disorder. And our mental health isn't healthy. So you can't put expectations that you would put on somebody who is healthy on us, because we just can't live up to those expectations. Again, this is not excusing her behavior. What this is doing is explaining it. You need to have an understanding of her mental health and of where she was and where anybody with borderline. Don't just think of this as, me defending Tobi, because I'm not. I'm defending the borderline personality disorder community. I'm defending us. I'm defending myself. I'm explaining why things would have happened from my perspective and from hopefully her perspective. To invalidate her feelings isn't it, sis? It's not okay. You can't invalidate someone's feelings. Of course, you can say that is wrong. You should not have done that. But you cannot say you're invalid. And of course, you might say that's wrong. You shouldn't have done that. But you have to remind her, and you have to remind your your borderline personality disorder, your person who has it, that your feelings may be valid. I still love you, but that just wasn't the right thing to do. Again, that's not saying she doesn't deserve backlash. It's that you need to treat somebody with BPD when approaching them the way you treat a toddler, because our emotions are just as a toddler's. We haven't developed them yet. Okay? So I haven't even read much of the post, but I do want to continue on. So what I was going to say here is, I said, again, her BPD isn't an excuse for what happened, but it does give you a chance to understand why it might have happened. And it's still not okay, but it's still a valid reason for her reactions. Those of us who suffer from this disorder often feel our emotions. I mean, it's not even often. We always feel our emotions 10 times stronger than anyone else. I say in this, your emotions are 10 to 20. Our emotions are 90 to 100. Again, completely true, completely valid. Your doctor will tell you that. That's literally how it is. It'll tell you in this book. It will tell you in this book, which this is Dialectical Behavior Therapy, a workbook, which if I remember I'll link. They'll tell you that with How to Love Somebody with Borderline Personality Disorder, another book that I don't have here, my husband has. Our emotions are 100 times stronger than, everybody else's. So then I say, so in the video I was watching, it says that, well, I've watched a lot of videos, but in the video I was just watching that led me to this. It said, the girl said that your you need to apologize. And yes, she does. But you're not understanding that you need to be sorry. You can't go, I'm sorry that you took it this way, or I'm sorry, but this is what happened to me, or I'm sorry, but this is my perspective. You're right. She shouldn't have said that. What she should have said was, I'm sorry, this is how I feel. She should have used I feel statements. And in order for I feel statements to work, though, you, the viewer, and you, the person talking to us, or anybody with like anger issues or depression or anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder or schizophrenia, anybody with these kind of emotions, when we use I feel statements, you have to understand that we're not accusing you of what happened. We're not saying that, well, you did this wrong. We're saying, this is how I felt. This is why this happened with me, because this is how I felt. My feelings in this situation was this. Of course, remember, our emotions 10 times stronger. Sometimes, a lot of the time, our feelings might be inappropriate. When we say I feel, we're telling you how we felt in the situation, not telling you that our actions are excusable. We're trying not to have that excusatory tone that we might have. So when she said, I'm sorry that this is how you took it, she should have said, I'm sorry, this is how I felt, and I shouldn't have reacted that way. I'm sorry. Or, she should have just said, I'm sorry. I apologize that I hurt you. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I'm sorry that I hurt you. And when she says that, when anybody says, I'm sorry, I don't think I did anything wrong, I'm sorry that I hurt you, you need to understand that she can be, or he, whoever you're talking to, can be completely apologetic, can completely feel horrible for what they did. But they don't have to think they've done something wrong. They don't have to change their views to feel sorry for hurting your feelings, to feel sorry for doing something wrong. And that's extremely important to remember. Of course, she should be sorry. She said some things, did some things. She didn't handle it well. But you have to understand, again, her emotions, 10 times stronger than yours. Her emotions, unstable. She also has to battle in her head, is my emotion an appropriate reaction or not? And it's a lot of like wishy-washy. She has to look to other people and see, well, how are these people reacting, right? Well, these people are acting like it's a good thing. These people are acting like it's a bad thing. These people are saying that I've done nothing wrong. These people are saying I have. That's very confusing for her, because she doesn't know now who to listen to, Definitely if she's asked people outside of the internet. And you also have to remember, with BPD, we have explosive anger. Her reactions to things, she might have been going through a lot outside of what goes on the internet. Again, not okay for the way she reacted, not okay to take your anger out on others, but you need to understand that might have been also a contributing factor. So when she says, my BPD, I've been going through a lot, you need to understand that's not an excuse. And she's not lying. She's not saying that to get away with it. She's trying to tell you that this is what I'm going through. That's why I reacted. You want an answer as to why. And that's what people on the internet need to understand, is that when you ask and demand and speculate what a reason why would be, and then you get the reason why, it may not be what you wanted. And it may not be something you understand, but you need to accept that. Or don't accept it, but don't attack the other person because they didn't do something the way you thought it would be. It very might well been that she just got angry, and that's what happened. She's sorry. Move on, and now don't move on. I mean, like, when I say move on, don't forget about your feelings. I mean, just like, don't dwell on the situation. Don't attack. Don't keep on attacking her until she says what you want to hear. Because with BPD, we probably will. We'll probably just get angry and tell you what you want to hear. And that's that. Because we just want it to be over with. We don't like feeling the way we feel. We don't like hurting people. and we just want to make people happy all the time, right? So again, in this video, the girl says, we get that you have mental health problems, but you need to just move on. Not just move on, but you need to get help, and you need to better yourself, because we all have hardships, but that doesn't mean we can go around, doing this. That's like a paraphrase of what she said. You're right, of course. Everybody struggles. Not everybody has 100%, like nobody has 100% perfect mental health. That's impossible. If you did, there would probably be something wrong with you. I'd be worried. But for you to say somebody who doesn't have BPD, that you need to just get over it, you need to get help, that's what upset me, because you don't know if she's getting help. You don't know what kind of therapy we have to go through. It's not the same therapy you might talk to somebody about because you have depression. It's not the same therapy that you see on TV. The therapy we go to is a lot like the kind of therapy somebody with autism might go to, or an autistic person. I know that some people would prefer whatever, just nobody cares. For us, we have to go to dialectical behavior therapy, which is literally reteaching us what we should have known, what we should have learned as a child. This book right here will go through everything, why we, like, your mind, like mindfulness and your attitude and healthy ways to cope. You probably practice mindfulness without meaning to. You probably do that. We don't know how to do that. We don't even know what mindfulness is. So we have to go to dialectical behavior therapy. We have to relearn that, because we weren't in a situation, we were never stable enough to learn those things. We have to go to cognitive behavior therapy, which is, again, working with our brain. Again, something somebody, an autistic person would have to do. That's not just normal therapy. It's not behavior therapy either. It's cognitive. We now have to work the way we think in our brains. And that's not simple, because how old is Tobi? 20-something? Yeah. Something like that. She has to unlearn everything she learned her whole life and relearn new behaviors, new reactions, figure out how to appropriate react to things. And that's hard. And you know what? It ain't easy. And it's not accessible. Like, it's just not. You could walk into your doctor's office and be like, hey, I want therapy. Or you could probably find a multi-center, or I don't know what Americans have, or something to help you with generalized therapy. With us, very few places do dialectical behavior therapy. And some cities, some provinces don't even have those. And if they do, it gets really hard. For me, I couldn't get it until I moved 3 hours away from where I used to live. And I had to move for my therapy. And I have to choose places where I can live. I can't just move to somewhere I like. I have to think about where can I get my therapy, because not everybody does it. It's not, it's not a regular thing, because not everybody needs it. And I think it's only 7% of the world's no, it's not even like that. It's like 0.2% of the world's population has BPD. No, wait, that might be. But still, it's like a very small percentage. So, of course, they're not going to have it everywhere, because not everybody needs it. It's just not funding we have. Again, I pay $175 per session. $175 for one session. She might need a session every week. She might need a session twice a week. Some places are higher. Some places it's like $300 a session. Some places, your insurance doesn't cover it. Some places, for us, HIP wouldn't cover it, or Green Shield. For you guys, I don't know what you guys have over there, but she probably can't afford it. And if she can probably afford maybe 12 sessions, maybe 2, and that's not enough. And it's really hard. It's really hard to be able to continue on with your therapy when it's expensive and when you're struggling. And when you have to overcome a lot of other stuff. It's just hard. Definitely if it's not close to you. And then you have to throw on the pandemic. But right now it's probably super hard. I know it's super hard. I went through 4. I'm on my 4th dialectical behavior therapist because 2 of them quit the complete company that I went through because they wanted to start their own practice. And the other one, her schedule didn't work with mine. All right? Now imagine her. Imagine what she has to do too. Right? And she has to work. She has to do other adult things. Other people with BPD have to do that. It's not as simple as getting help. And it's not as simple as as everybody gets sad sometimes, because BPD isn't getting sad sometimes. BPD is a crippling mental illness. It's a chronic mental illness. And that really frustrated me, that this woman just said, everybody struggles, move on, get better. Because you don't know if she's been getting better. And it's not as simple as, you go to therapy and you're perfect. Because, a lot of the time, I go to a therapy session, I'm great for about a day, and then my brain wants to retreat back to what it already knows. Her brain does that too. Everybody with BPD's brain does that too. Everybody who needs to learn new coping skills does that too. Okay? So it's not as simple as getting help, because it's not just getting help. It's not that easy. I wish it was, but it wasn't. And this video is more than half an hour long. Oh well. Again, let's talk about the unstable emotions. No, we're not going to talk about, I've already talked about that. Uncontrollable anger. She gets angry. I get angry. I get so angry sometimes because the sky's the wrong color. You think I'm joking? No. I get upset about that because I was relying on the sky for being blue. Oh, the sky's kind of gray today. Great. I thought the sky was going to be blue. What am I supposed to do? If the sky's not blue, then what else isn't going to be right? I prefer gray skies, but that's still something that we would think. Again, explosive anger, sometimes for nothing. Literally nothing. And that's not okay. We just don't know how to manage it yet. And she's probably learning. Dialectical behavior therapy isn't something that you can just stop. You will need to go to that for the rest of your life. You will need to be practicing for the rest of your life. And she probably can't. She probably, let's be honest, you wouldn't be able to afford it. Unless you're Bill Gates, you're not going to be able to afford to go see a dialectical behavior therapist, even once a month, for the rest of your life. That's just not happening. So it's not just, moving on. It's not like that. And a lot of times, so let's say she might get angry and then just her anger triggers this and that and this. And I'll tell you right now, it's when I'm angry or when this is, so what it's called is splitting. Hold up. So in the video that I was watching, they referred to it as an episode, when you're having a BPD episode. I don't know if that's what Tobi referred to it in one of her videos or if that's what they read, but it's not called an episode because it's not like depression. It's not like, anything like that. That's an episodic, or autism. It's not an episodic disorder. Instead, we say it's splitting. Because what's happening is that when I'm splitting, I'm not really here. My emotions are here, and I'm over here. I have no control over what's going on. She probably didn't have any control over how she was reacting. We have BPD, we say things we don't mean. I'm in a relationship. I'm getting married. And I fight with my partner a lot. Not because we're in a healthy relationship, but because I have borderline personality disorder. I'm 18 and I need to figure out how to cope. When I'm splitting, I say things I don't mean. I say horrible things that I don't mean. I don't even remember what I say because there's like when somebody was DID, when they kind of switch back through alters, we kind of have a similar amnesia. When we kind of get a grip back into our emotions, it's kind of like that amnesia barrier. Like, you've said some things, you've done something wrong, but you can't quite be sure what you said. That does not excuse what has been done. Your feelings of hurt, 100% valid. Your feelings of, distress or hurt or anything, all your emotions and feelings are valid. But you have to understand that ours are too. That we're kind of just as confused as you are. Again, not excusing the behavior, giving you a reason why it happens. You need to understand that when somebody gives you a reason why, it's not an excuse. It's a freaking reason, man. So when they were saying she had an episode, she didn't. She split. And she had no control. She probably had no control. And it's really hard. It's like chasing your dog down the street. Or there's a storm and you're going, stop raining. Stop raining. Stop raining. The rain's not going to listen to you. It's still going to pour. Kind of what's going on with us. Like, we're trying. We're doing everything we can. Definitely early on in your treatment, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And you know what she should do, and she probably did do, she just said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I split. I'm sorry that this happened. I need you to know that I didn't mean that. And, BPD isn't something that you can just ignore. You can't just push that aside for someone's behavior. BPD doesn't cause people to kill. Okay? BPD doesn't cause people to rob a bank. I mean, it might, actually. The impulsivity. What BPD does do is cause somebody to say something they don't mean. Is cause somebody to react a way that you wouldn't react because you are neurotypical. Because you don't have the same mental health issue as her. BPD is the cause of why she would have reacted those ways. I just keep picturing when they were saying that she shouldn't have been reacting the way she was reacting in her stream. That makes me so upset because when you're watching that as a neurotypical person or as somebody who doesn't have BPD or, you're thinking, wow, how immature. But I'm thinking, oh man, she has no control right now. God, the pain she's probably in because she can't control her splitting. Or she's probably so frustrated right now. And again, it's not okay to accuse somebody of child pornography. It's not okay to attack people on the internet or in person. But she had no control. And she's not trying to say that you should forgive me because I have BPD. She's not asking you to do that. She's telling you that this happened because of it. She's telling you that her thinking was different. And although to you, again, it might just be a small leap that it's from here to here. To her, it's about 1,000,000 miles away. Those thoughts. Her thoughts process was insane. But it makes sense to me. And honestly, it probably makes a lot of sense to a lot of other people with BPD. And when talking about it, I think you need to have an understanding. You need to be sensitive, because I know that the name's Junkie or whatever, and Spectre, and the dude with the scarf, like, they didn't mean to be offensive. They weren't trying to hurt people with BPD. But you did. You misrepresented us. You misrepresented the disorder. And that really is not okay. And I think if you want to talk on the behalf of BPD, God, Discord is blowing up. You need to do your research and not just read 2 or 3 articles, and not just talk to somebody who knows somebody with BPD or assume, because you don't understand. You don't know, and you're ending up hurting people. And yeah, like, that's how I feel. Again, like, that was remember, so my main goal wasn't to defend her. I know it kind of sounds like I did, but I was kind of just using her as an example when saying, like, her and her situations. I'm trying to explain how BPD is, how it affects people, and what it is, and it's an extremely hard mental illness. It's an extremely hard thing to deal with. Definitely when people aren't understanding that, actually, yeah, that is, like, why things happen. So when the girl, whatever her name was saying that just get better, it's not like that. We can't just get better. We can't just see therapy. So, we can't just go to therapy and be better. This is almost an hour long. But yeah. And there's not a time on advocating for what you believe. It's just, yeah, we're different. Not like the other boys. But yeah, we are different. We have different. Everybody's different, but definitely us with BPD. You need to understand that. You need to stop invalidating her, and by her I mean us. Because when you say her BPD isn't why this happened, you're invalidating the fact that she has BPD. You're invalidating the fact that what BPD can do to someone did that. So I just kind of wish that people would think from our perspective before they spoke, and not just what they think they know, or the facts that they think they know. Because no one's going to be able to tell you about BPD the way I could, or the way she could, or the way somebody else could. Oh, there's one really good YouTuber I watch who has BPD. She talked about the dissociative identity disorder stuff. God, what is her name? If I remember, I'll comment or link it down below. But God, again, she would know. We know better than anyone that, yeah, of course, her reactions weren't okay, but her BPD did have a big part in what happened. She wasn't trying to excuse it. She was giving you a legitimate reason. So, yeah, that's my share. This is an hour almost, just shy of an hour. I guess I'll cut it off then, or there. I really hope. I never read the rest of the comment. It was just what I already said, that, she probably was apologizing, and she probably meant it. But, again, she was trying to do it in a way where she wasn't invalidating herself, hurting herself, or hurting you. So, again, that's just that. I mean, I'm not on anybody's side but the BPD. I'm I'm trying to advocate for the borderline personality disorder and the people who have it. And I know no one's gonna watch this, and I know that Junkie won't see this. And I don't really, I do care. I wish that you guys would watch it. I wish that everybody would watch it and understand just God damn, just how your words have that effect on people. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you want. Subscribe. I'd like it if you'd leave a comment. Tell me what you think. If you watched it all, comment Animal Crossing Discord is annoying, because that is exactly what's been popping up while I was trying to record this. God damn it, stop. Yeah, and share. Share it. Like, just for other people with, oh my god, BPD to see it, hopefully, or, people who are going to comment on it. Okay, I'm going to go now. If I get one more Discord thing, I might scream. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, so, see you later, guys. I feel like I used to do, like, a certain, like, goodbye, but, like, I can't remember it, but thanks for coming, and toodles. Oh, and the Instagram's Andy is lame. If you wanna follow. And maybe Snugs Rat Care Official on Instagram, where my small business is located. Follow that. Okay.